And what do we have next? Oh, and next is the big ones, which everybody talks about, obviously, which is the Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. The double ep with the Weeping Angels. I wasn't so impressed by the Angels this time. In Blink, they were excellent. This time, I think they lost a certain amount of their menace. Yeah. Not as fun as I thought they were going. Not as exciting. What does that one do, though? Brings back River Swan. Swan? I keep calling it River Swan. River Song. Which is nice, and, you know, that episode sort of says River Song is going to be a main player now, all of a sudden, rather than, because at the time the only thing she'd been in before, she was just a character, which was interesting. Pardon me. So that was interesting. I don't have much to say about Flesh and Stone. They do. The only other thing really is that they obviously bring in more about the Kraken, that, which is nice. This is one of the things I liked about this season, is that you have the first step that sets up what the continual arc is going to be. Then it moves into the next continual arc, and then you have a couple of eps where you just see the crack a bit. And then you have Flesh and Stone, and it goes, look, this is a gap in reality. We've got to run away from these. That's really cool. What else happens? So that's that, actually. I don't have much to say on Flesh and Stone that hasn't been said before. Vampires of Venice was there. They sort of fought fish people. Wasn't that impressed. They also bring in Rory, and Rory's running around being a wuss, and you're very much like, oh, it's another Mickey. We've done this. Do we need another one? Mickey was a prat and really didn't like him until he grew up in the Cyberman Dalek episode. It was pain. I couldn't stand him. So, mildly annoying. Amy's choice with the Dream Lord. I liked that. I liked the idea that the Doctor, the big thing with that one obviously being that the Dream Lord sort of something out of the Doctor's mind, and his maliciousness and his own self-hatred. I really liked that. I liked the way they did it. I liked the way, the big thing that made it really good is the fact that at the end when he turns around and goes, that was me. He's not like, oh, I'm so sorry, that was me. Oh, it was my burning, and is embarrassed by it. That was me. What do you think? I'm 900 years old. I'm going to have demons. Which is brilliant. I really liked that. So, and it was a fun episode and had a lot of choices. And it kind of was one of the ones where Amy turned around and went, no, actually, Rory's my fiance. We're due to be together. I love him. If it was, and that's the big thing, is that's the episode where Amy realizes that she cares about him for who he is, not because he's about and the Doctor wasn't. Next, Hungry Earth. Oh, Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, the Silurians. Nice to see them back. I was hoping they'd do the Silurians. They should have kept the face masks. I was totally psyched when I saw the coming next ep and you saw them with the face masks with the big black eyes and the big lizard mouth. And I was like, they've done a really good job on Silurians, and they take them off and they're just people with green skin, and I was just... No, I don't care if my aliens look rubbery, I want big aliens, One of the reasons why the Daleks are so good is because they look alien, they look ridiculous. I want that, and then they sort of had a human with green skin, and that was a bit disappointing. But they did a Silurian story, and they did it very well, and I liked the conclusion that they were like, we're not ready yet, and locked themselves up again. That was very cool. And that's that one, really. Vincent and the Doctor, I didn't enjoy. I thought it was... it was okay. I thought it was a bit pandering. I thought Richard Curtis wrote that one. Obviously, Richard Curtis is big famous. He's written quite a lot of quite famous stuff. Sort of love romantic comedies and things like that. He also worked on Blackadder with Ben Elton. But the Vincent and the Doctor, I felt, was a good idea. That's the point of Doctor Who, is that you're supposed to be able to go back and meet people from the past and do a history and basically do a fun history lesson. But they didn't do that. They just sort of gushed over how good Van Gogh is. The speech at the end given, was it Bill Knightley? Bill Knightley, who's playing the museum tour guide, gives this speech about how wonderful Van Gogh is, and you're listening to it. I'm kind of like, what's Bill Knightley doing in this? Like, Bill Knightley's great. Why are you giving him such a small role? And it feels like Richard Curtis has gone, I want my episode to be really good, so I'm going to call in my friends. But Bill Knightley has this gushing speech about Van Gogh, which is just cringe-worthy, because you kind of feel that they're just... It's just naff. I just don't like it. So, that's that. And then what we got next? The Lodger. I kind of like The Lodger. A lot of people said they didn't like it and that it was a bit silly. I don't mind a bit silly. I don't mind filler episodes. This one was a good laugh. I thought it was funny watching the Doctor sort of mucking about in the real world, which was the joke, really. So that was quite fun. I enjoyed that. And then we move on to the Pandorica opens and the Big Bang, the double ep at the end. Yes, I liked a lot. I think a lot of people did. Obviously, closed off the series nicely with the whole destruction of the TARDIS, what the Pandorica is. I really like the idea that the ultimate weapon that is hidden within the Pandorica is the Doctor. That's really cool. That was a very clever idea. It took me completely off guard. I think everyone was like, wow, when that happened. What else can I say? What ended the series nicely, but also did this wonderful thing that, I mean, they did from the first step, which now leads into the next series, which is the what is it? The next series, The Silence, which come in and they talk about, you know, so you get this wonderful feeling of this continuing story, but they kind of can start a new story because it's about the Silence now. They've done the Pandorica. We're on to the next story, but it gives this wonderful feeling of continuity. So it was really excited for the next season. Really liked this season. Really liked the pacing of it overall. 5th season, good stuff.